Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Decipher the Media podcast. On this episode, we have Joe Bucci, who is returning to the podcast all the way from Atlanta. Joe was up here recently visiting family, friends, and doing some film related stuff. So I asked him if he wanted to come on to the podcast and just catch up for a little bit, see how things are going with him and his film work in Georgia, as well as up here in Pennsylvania. We touch upon some of his projects that we have worked together on before, some of the other things that he's done, and then he talked about his new project that he's working on, which is actually being funded by a grant. And he went into details about how that all happened, which was really interesting. And then we also talk about how he came up with the idea for the film and what that idea really means to him and the importance of the message that it sends. So we talk about that, and then we get into some lighter discussion with conspiracy theories and deep diving into some of the crazy conspiracy theories that are out there and how they kind of get spread around through the web and through social media and forums and of the like, such as Reddit and 4chan. So we talk a lot about that. Some of the recent news that has kind of cropped up since the pandemic has started, how news media really affects things, how it affects different generations of people. We talk about all those sort of things and how they influence us and our society as a whole. So it was a really great discussion. I really enjoyed all the sorts of things that we touched on, and I was really happy to have him back on to talk about his project and just and his thoughts on things and what he's been doing to keep busy. So again, this is Joe Bucci on Decipher the Media, episode number 16. I hope you enjoy.
Yeah.
Love the banana socks, by the
Yeah,
way.
I've gotten into wearing weird socks, especially when I golf. So I golf in a league every Saturday, and I'm known as the guy that just kind of wears weird socks. And I dress. See, you can't wear like the knickers and the like the pants that you like tuck into your socks and the ball because you look ridiculous.
Okay.
So this is my way of bringing like the old style of golf where they wore those weird but blending it with new. So like I'll wear like bright green pants.
Yeah.
Or like I have like a fluorescent pink shirt that I wear with like white, and I wear like white pants. And then like always have different weird socks. Like I got these are Banana Rick. So it's Rick and Morty.
Oh, okay. I didn't
It's a
even
Banana
see the
Rick.
face on it. Yeah.
But I have like Pickle Rick socks. I have Baby Yoda socks. I have BB-8 socks. But they always match what I'm wearing. Right now they're not. But like usually, like if I'm wearing my orange shirt, I wear my gray shirt. Yeah. I have BB-8 socks. And then like I match my I don't have my sunglasses on because it's 9:30 at night. But I'll match my sunglasses to whatever color I'm wearing.
Right.
Because I can't play golf for worth a shit. So I might as well look like I can play.
Just look the part.
Exactly. If you look the part and you're playing well, people think you're good.
It's how you get like memberships to the country club and stuff like that, and getting in with all the rich.
Exactly. I want to meet the rich people because maybe they'll give me money to make a movie.
That's true. It'd be a good way of getting investors. Just start selling yourself and
Listen, I don't want to become a gigolo.
No, not like that. Not.
Tell me, sell myself, man.
Market your, skills. I'm just gonna just change the subject. So what else have you been doing other than golfing?
Well, I'm unemployed because of COVID, so I'm golfing. No, but I started a YouTube channel, but I haven't. Yeah, it's called Bogey or Better, and I've probably about 6 episodes like recorded, but I'm so lazy. I've edited one.
Really?
It's more or less just I'm lazy, and those golf vlogs take a lot of energy and time, because you're like, not only like I'm going out there with a camera and recording myself, so I'm playing golf, and then I'm my own camera crew.
Yeah.
So I'm slowing up play behind me, so I have to let people play through because I feel bad. And then they're like, "Oh, what are you filming?" And I'm like, "Oh, a YouTube channel." And then I shank the ball into the woods. And they're like, "A YouTube channel?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's a comedy channel. It's about how I suck at golf." They're like, "Oh, I can't wait to see it." And I'm like, "You'll never see it because I'm lazy." But essentially, it's me and my buddy Andy. We act. So I record myself golfing, and the goal is to get other people to record themselves too. And then me and my buddy Andy act as like sportscasters, where I go by the name of Han DeJobs. And it's just like a real smart ass, like real smart asses, like like commenting and just being jackasses on air.
Yeah.
I think it plays fun. But whenever I finally upload it, I'll probably take it down like a day later because I'm so self-conscious.
Oh.
But yeah, I mean that's been a lot of my time. We can get into it later, but I got a grant to make a movie up here in Pittsburgh.
Awesome.
So
Well, that's some good news.
Yeah, I spent 4 months writing a grant proposal, and then I submitted it at the end of February. I don't know if I'm allowed to say who gave me the grant yet, because whenever they sent me it, they said I have to approve any media through them.
Oh,
so I'm just
gotcha.
not going to say
Yeah,
the
we just
grant
won't
name.
Yeah.
But
give details.
yeah, but essentially they gave me a very nice grant, and I'm working with Steeltown Entertainment.
Cool.
Because they're our fiscal sponsor, and they have been super helpful. Wendy there has been great. But we're shooting that this late October up here in Pittsburgh. So, but that's a very, so as you know, I do a lot of comedy stuff, like Hobo Hunters. I did with Ian, and it's called Being in Your 20s, and
Right.
obviously we did all the other 48s that are just terrible things. This is like the tone of this is completely opposite. It's very serious.
Okay.
Yeah, it takes on a pretty heavy subject. Takes on like regime change wars and our involvement in various governments around the world and toppling governments. Essentially, it deals with the military-industrial complex and how basically our country runs on it.
Right.
So I mean, it takes on that. So if you find me in a ditch somewhere, if the movie does well, you'll find me in a ditch somewhere, essentially. But that means that it got the message across.
Yeah.
And I don't like it. I don't like getting political at all. I'll post a funny meme here or there.
Yeah.
On Facebook, but most of the time, if I post a meme, it'll be left and right, like it's making fun of everyone.
Yeah.
But this is a subject I really cared about. Since I've had family that went overseas, I've had friends that went overseas. I've seen a lot of like what happens on the back end of it whenever people come home.
Right.
I mean, it's just a matter of like, it's something I feel very strongly about. With this whole regime change wars and everything like that.
Right.
So, I decided to write a script about it and spent 4 months writing a grant proposal, like I said, and submitted it end of February, and the last week of June, they're like, "Hey, we know there's a pandemic, but you got your money, so now you have to figure out how to shoot a movie in the middle of a pandemic."
Yeah, that's tough, because that seems like something, like the idea of that would probably involve you having to do a lot of traveling, I would assume.
Yeah, I mean, since I'm based out of Atlanta, like I came up here this week to do the location scout. I got the location scout tomorrow, down in Monongahela.
Oh, okay.
So, and I got a producer up here who can do a lot of the legwork, and luckily we're working with Steel Town, so they're able to help us out. And,
Yeah.
you know, internet, Zoom, you're able to get a lot done without having to actually travel nowadays. It's not
That's
like
true.
it's not like it's the 90s when email was still new and you actually believed it whenever someone said that you just have to send them your bank account number and they'll put $10,000 in it.
Yeah.
When that was not a scam. It was when the guy actually gave you money. But no, like now I can get a lot done just through email.
Right.
But my producer up here is doing a great job. His name's Bill. I worked with him on It's Called Being in Your 20s.
Okay.
And then my other producer I have down in Atlanta, and we've been working back and forth getting this budget set. Because as this is the biggest budget that I've ever had to shoot a short film, so it's about $20,000 to shoot a short film over 2 days, which you would think that's a lot of money. It's really not.
Yeah.
Because I mean, our goal, we're paying people livable wages for the most part. A lot of people are coming in and donating their time, and our goal is to make sure that no one works for free on this. Cause
Right.
like a PA or two might, if it's just like they're getting their first credit, and then if we have money in contingency, I plan on paying them out of the contingency.
Right.
But like that's one of our big goals with the crew. Just because I mean, you've been there. You've done how much work for free, and it's
right.
Those 12-hour days. You're just like, at the end of the day, it's all right. I ate pizza, and I'm gonna go puke and wake up the next day after a 6-hour turnaround and go do it again. Oh, and they're overnight shoots too. So it's 2 days of overnights. At the end of October, it's gonna be cold. But the cool thing is we're doing a lot of in-camera special effects.
Yeah.
So we allocated a big budget of it to special effects, so that we can do real pyrotechnics. We can.
Oh man.
Well, I mean the thing about pyro is it's not as crazy as you would think it is.
Yeah.
The way that we have it planned out is I found these DMX controlled flamethrowers. They're flamethrowers. They're more or less just they're kind of like an electronically controlled lighter to a hairspray can is how it kind of works, but it uses starter fluid, and it has a spark, and it's DMX controlled, so it's completely safe. So you run a wire out, you're sitting at a controller, you flick a switch, you get about a 8 to 10 foot flame, and at night they look a lot bigger, a lot brighter. So we shove two of them together, we put them in the background, we have ourselves a real explosion that we don't need to go and set off a bomb, like a special effects bomb. I want to do burn barrels, so get some 55-gallon drums and just fill them with a bunch of wood, just light them on fire. It's just for ambience. It's set deck, and then we want to do all the special effects with squibs, air squibs. I don't want to say how I did it, but I designed a way to do it remotely controlled with little CO2 packages rather than using a big bike pump. You can go online, you can find ones with bike pumps. I figured out how to do it with a little CO2 cartridge that you'd use for a BB gun.
Okay.
So I got to work with the special effects guys. I mean, it's definitely nice to have a budget this big. The real nice part is I don't have to pay the money back with an investor that you're expecting the money back. This is a grant for artists. So I applied to the foundation, and they obviously, there was a bunch of other applicants. There was almost $1 million worth of applicants.
Wow.
And they only had I think $150,000 to give out, and we got $20,000 of it. So they said it was a unanimous decision. So thank you to that foundation. If I'm ever allowed, when I figure out when I'm allowed to say it, I will gladly say it out loud. But I just don't want them being you don't get your money now because you said our name.
Yeah.
So you know who you are. Well. Thank you. But
we can always come back to this at a later time and talk about it.
Yeah. So what have you been up to, man?
Not really much. Just been I think like I said before, I've just been sitting at home a lot, just working from home for the last couple months, probably since March, like mid to late March, early April, somewhere around there. And then basically just finding things to do to keep busy. A lot of little projects around the house. Upgrading my home studio setup basically is like one of the things I've been trying to do.
So you've been productive.
Kind of. I guess if you call that productive.
Been a lot more productive than me. I've gone down rabbit holes with conspiracy theories just for the past like couple months, just because I've been bored. Not that I believe them, but I just enjoy reading them, and I'll be on my computer, and then I'll look and it's 2 a.m. and go, fuck, I've been sitting here for 12 hours reading reading these conspiracy theories on 4chan. Like,
4chan. Yeah, I wouldn't go on 4chan.
It's a mess, dude. I'm mainly in Reddit, right?
Okay.
Because Reddit is, you can be sane.
Right.
I recently rediscovered 4chan from high school, and it's disgusting.
Oh, it's absolutely like, it's the closest thing you will get to like the dark web.
Yeah.
Basically, without actually going there.
Yeah, it's like the gray web. It's a good way to describe it.
Yeah. Basically.
Like it's like the free trial of the dark web.
Yeah, basically.
Without all the
like
viruses.
if they find out that they can trust you, then you get like that membership card. Like they slip you the membership card to the dark web.
I have no wish to go on the dark web. I have no wish. My buddies were into finding like weird websites on the dark web. Like, why would you do this?
Ugh.
Like where you have to use Tor and all that. Like, no, thank you.
No,
thank you. Most of the time, you just end up on terrible sites. Like, I'm good, man.
Yeah, like I don't really want to. I hope there's VPN covering this up. But,
but yeah, no. I was reading a conspiracy theory last night actually about this. I guess this military prison that was in somewhere in the Middle East, and how there was a viral outbreak there, and who's a weird one, and I feel like it's a conspiracy theory. I feel like it was a fiction writer who wrote it, but it was a good story. I enjoyed listening to it.
Zombie level.
Yeah, it was like zombie level outbreak. Like they apparently this was one of those black prisons that don't exist.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently he was a guard there, and one night they had him suit up, and they were in like they called it MOP, M-O-P. Again, I'm not the best with it, but they called it MOP gear. And they said if anyone's not in MOP gear, you shoot them. I mean, it's on YouTube. You can listen to the what's the Microsoft voice that reads stuff whenever you type it in.
Oh, okay. Like,
yeah, they put in that Microsoft voice where it reads to you. So I was just kind of sitting there like listening to it like an audiobook, just laying there in the dark because I'm back at my parents' house, right?
Yeah.
So I'm in my childhood bedroom, which has still from the time I was 8 years old, it still has the same wallpaper of a baseball field. Yeah. Like where you're like sitting at shortstop. And I'm sitting here listening to a zombie apocalypse level like Contagion, like where they're just killing all these people to get someone out. And then if you like read the comments, people are like looking for the articles, and if they find the article of the guy that he died, and
people doing like deep dives on this,
going deep into it. And you know what, I'm like, if this happens, my thing is like, it's not out of the realm of possibility anymore. This is 2020. Anything is possible. Like, like there was that one. The one that got me was I was listening to another one about Jeffrey Epstein, right?
Oh man, yeah.
And it was about this guy that worked for Jeffrey Epstein, right? And I sent it to Adam and Ian, and they sent me they texted me back this morning. They're like, "You sent us a video that's not on the internet." I was like, "What are you talking about?" And I listened to this last night, like 6 hours ago, and they're like, "Check the link." I checked the link, and it was taken down.
Oh.
So like,
that's suspicious.
Oh my god, it was It was crazy. I don't want to say it on your podcast. I'll tell you off air, but it was. I don't want you getting. I don't want you getting Epstein or something like that.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying.
Like if it is real, like it's terrifying. But it was. Oh my god! It was about 25 minutes of me sitting there under the baseball lights, and listening to these terrible, terrible stories. It was fantastic. I'm like, this needs to be a movie. Like, this is the setup, like the whole character, like the whole arc of the guy. Because he starts off with the line, "I'm going to kill myself when I'm done typing this." That's what he says, like the writer.
Oh, jeez.
He's like, I'm dead either way. He's like, I'm dead either way. So I'm gonna kill myself and make this on my own terms. And then he goes on this like long post. And then it cuts off. Like, he stops answering questions at like 5 a.m. And then I'll tell you a little bit more about it later off air. But it was fucking wild. It was wild, man. I love conspiracy theories because like they're so interesting.
Jeez.
That like the UFO Tic Tac thing that they just like in Mars. So like, yeah, UFOs are real.
Oh yeah.
Like I love that. Like they're finally admitting UFOs are real. So.
And like nobody seemed to care about that when it happened.
Blows my mind. Blows my mind that everyone's like, no, coronavirus. I'm like, they just gave us the holy grail saying that UFOs are real. Like they haven't admitted this for years.
Yeah,
I'm like, you can still care about coronavirus, man. But let's take a look over here.
Yeah, I mean, you can see like how kind of media directs that. That coverage, that media, the news coverage, how it directs things, and like, just like,
I don't know how people just like right over the head. I was so excited. Well, after again, like I love conspiracy theories. I am a skeptic to no end, but I will always play devil's advocate. But I love listening to them, and I love like reading them. But whenever I was probably like 22, 23, I took a real deep dive in conspiracy theories. I went down that rabbit hole. I almost never came back. I was almost a flat earther.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I got to the flat Earth line, and I was like, oh, these guys are full of shit.
Yeah.
And that's when I came back to reality. But yeah, that was about what? It was in 2015, 2016, so I was about 22, 23 when all that happened. Because it was right around the election. Because I was reading all the conspiracy theories about the Clintons and everything. And
yeah, that stuff is insane. Oh yeah, I did read some of that stuff, like about the I don't even know if it matters of talking about it at this point, but like the number of people that have like mysteriously died around
the Clintons.
Yeah.
Well, in that video that I watched, they were talking at one point about this. There's a woman in it, like in this car. And they're talking about like covering up like a murder, and like they said there's a woman in the car, and like for that it was like the in Fight Club whenever Brad Pitt's character flashes for a second. Yeah. Like they flash Hillary Clinton's photo real quick for like one frame. And I was like, I get what you're doing here.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just some of those crazy stuff. I mean, this is how like there's kind of the people that do deep dives is like that's how we get stuff like the 5G like causing coronavirus and
that one is like that's right on the level of flat Earth. Like
yeah.
What? Come on, guys. Like, there are real conspiracies out there that we should be, like, putting our time into. UFOs. But, like, let's leave the 5G to... Let's not say that's real.
Yeah. So, it's just crazy that the stuff that they've come out with. And this is also a reason why we have such an issue now. Like, I don't know why this is even a political issue, but, like, why people... disagree about the virus that's going on and stuff like that. It's just like
I don't.
Right.
If it is real, okay, we need to do something about it. If it isn't real, then what's the problem with taking precautions?
Yeah, that's how I feel about it too. And it's just like people just don't understand that. And again, I don't want to get too.
I get you. People have their issues and they just want to stick to it. It's a whole thing. I don't get into it, man.
Yeah.
It's not worth the time. That's why the messed up conspiracies are so much more fun. UFOs are so much more fun than 5G causing coronavirus.
Yeah.
Because here's the question. Are they time traveling UFOs? Are they like? Is it us from the future?
Oh.
Like, is it from a different dimension that like we're right next to?
Yeah.
Like,
coming to see what's going on in
exactly,
the parallel universe.
Is it from a different galaxy or a different planet, solar system?
Hmm.
Is it Atlanteans? Because apparently, that Tic Tac one went down to the surface of the ocean and it met an underwater UFO. And this was so they could be the Atlanteans. I mean, the theory is, there's the whole theory that like the Atlanteans were super. I'm not talking about people from Atlanta. I'm talking about people from Atlantis. Just
right. I got what you're saying. Just
but the Atlanteans apparently like they were like they were like a alien superior race and everything, and apparently they were light years ahead of everyone. They were the ancient civilization and all that got wiped off the face of the earth. So what if they're still under the water? Like there's like, see, these are the conspiracy theories we need to investigate, people.
Yeah, there's so much of the ocean that has yet to be explored. So we could be
exactly.
Could
the aliens be from under the water? Like no one goes into it like, oh, it's coming from outer space. What if it's coming from the ocean, man?
Yeah.
What if they're fish people? What if they are crab people? Because crab people can live underwater. Like this.
It's stuff that you just never think about unless you actually do those deep dives.
But it's fun to do those deep dives. No pun intended.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, I should do stand-up comedy, but I can't because coronavirus.
You could do a stand-up stream or something. I'm surprised more comedians don't do that.
People have tried. I just don't think people.
Well, I guess you need the audience reaction. Like that's the whole big thing about stand-up comedy is like.
Could you do like one giant Zoom meeting where like people do stand-up that way?
That would not work.
You could get like 300 people in a Zoom meeting, and then you do the stand-up on the Zoom meeting. Like you like get a camera, kind of like how you have set up here.
Yeah.
Like a good camera, and like you put yourself in a stage, and then you just use that as your webcam and you zoom in.
The only way that I could see that working is if you like just mute everyone, so that you're not getting a whole bunch of like feedback.
But then you can't hear the laughter.
Yeah, that's the thing though. But there's gonna be like people in there that are just gonna be shuffling around and like just like munching on snacks or something in the middle of it, and you're just gonna hear that while he's like somebody's trying to tell jokes or whatever.
Yeah.
Or the option is like you just do it like a Twitch type setup where you just have like a chat on the side and you can just have people chat out their responses or just like commentary on the jokes or something. Although that I don't see that really working too well either, because then you have to pay attention to that while you're like telling jokes.
What if like here's an idea: real comedy club, and instead of everyone coming in, they just put like iPads up or webcams in every seat. I think iPads, so that way they can FaceTime into that iPad, right?
Okay.
And then you get a view from that seat, like you're virtually there. The person's on stage,
and they each have like their own designated like audio input or output, so that it feels like that's an actual audience there.
Yeah.
So
see, we're on to something.
Have to invest in that. By the time we have this all like laid out, the pandemic will be over.
Do you think? Do you think the pandemic will be over in the next year? I'm just hoping it's over by next September, because that's when I'm getting married.
Yeah, I don't know. I know it's not gonna be this year because just the way that things are going.
It's gonna magically end on November 4th.
Yeah.
The election.
Yeah.
As soon as the election's over. Oh, we found a vaccine.
Man, that would start a whole new deep dive of conspiracy theories.
Oh yeah.
If that happens.
I don't want to start any other conspiracy theories, but I got a question for you here. When the vaccine comes out, are you gonna be one of the first people to take it? Like they're like, all right, we got a FDA approved vaccine that was made in less than a year. Are you gonna take that vaccine? We have no idea what the long term effects of this is, because we're just starting human trials here in August.
Like, I probably wouldn't, but I'm also not saying that I'm like an anti-vaxxer or anything.
Oh,
like
no,
that.
I'm not an anti-vaxxer.
Yeah, so Yeah, I would probably just wait and just continue to social distance like I've been doing, and just see how things play out. And if it looks good, if there's good, if there's a positive reaction to it, then I'll probably go get it.
Yeah,
So,
I'm taking the same approach that I would take with like an iPhone.
I mean, unless I am forced to get it, like, because they're like, oh, vaccine's out, you have to go back to work and be around everyone again, then I'd probably just like pull the trigger on it, because it's better than not having it.
Are we going to have to pay for this vaccine when it comes out, or is this going to be
That's my other concern, is like some sort of big pharma company is going to have that vaccine and just like charge people out the ass to get it.
I feel like,
because again, not trying to be political, but the healthcare system kind of sucks.
Speaking of bad healthcare, right? So I had healthcare through my job, which, thank you, COVID, I have lost, right?
Right.
I'm supposed to go back to, actually, I was laid off. I'm supposed to go back to work 3 weeks ago, but I might go back to work in the next month or so.
Okay, yeah.
But because I had to close out the show I was on. But so apparently, whenever I signed up for my health insurance through my employer, they said after the show ends, which every show ends, I knew this was coming. I knew I was going to be out of a job eventually. So I asked them, like, once the show ends, what do I have in terms of health care? And they said, you have 2 months afterwards, and then you have to start paying for it. Okay. So
yeah.
My official termination date was June 30th. I'd stopped working back in April.
Right.
But they had kept me in case I had to come on, and they officially terminated me on June 30th. But on July, what was it? Like July 20th, around that time, I got a letter that was dated July 10th from my health insurance, saying that you will no longer be covered under your health insurance unless you respond by July 1st.
What? How does that make any sense?
Okay, I want you to... July 10th it was dated.
Yeah.
I got it July 20th.
Well, I would have immediately just been called them and be like, the fuck is this?
Yeah, I got to call them when I get back to Atlanta. I've been so wrapped up in this short film, and just because this is my shot at like getting something worth a shit made,
right?
That I'm not like putting all of my own money into. That I've been so wrapped up in this. The only other thing I do is golf, and that's just because I need some sort of relief, release.
Like, everybody needs that.
Like, because I can't go to the gym. Like, I haven't been to the gym since March.
Right. Even during this, same thing. I've been like trying to like build a home gym, just because I'm like, they started charging me at the gym again. Sorry, just going off.
No, you're fine.
Real quick, but like they started charging me again because they apparently started opening up the gym, and I'm like, I'm not going back. Like, even if I'm paying for this, luckily the company I work for will basically like spot me for gym memberships, because of some health thing that they do. But I was just like, this is not the right time to do this, and not just like. And apparently, I heard that like places like LA Fitness, they don't even require you to wear a mask.
So I've gone to the gym a couple times. I usually go super early in the morning and try and avoid people, but this was like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And it's just it doesn't feel right being in there. So like I avoid it at all costs.
Yeah, that's my thing is I thought about going back, but I was like, oh well, maybe I could get some like masks that are like sort of athletic masks. But then I'm just thinking it's not gonna matter. People aren't gonna.
It's not honestly, it's not worth it. I would rather run outside, and like do like curls with. It's just. But my thing is like I'm signed into these contracts that they don't give a shit about you. Like they're just like, oh well, there's a pandemic going on. You're still gonna pay
right.
$30 a month for LA Fitness, and then I have a Planet Fitness one, which is a year contract, and they won't let me out of it unless I pay like 2 months. And I'm like, I'm not doing that. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I had to pay a boatload of money to get out of LA Fitness. I was so mad.
Yeah, I'm at the point where I'm like, I'm not gonna. I'll pay because eventually I'll want to go back, but it feels so weird right now.
Right.
Especially since it's just spiked everywhere. So I'm just, the whole gym membership's a mess.
Yeah, I feel you on that.
But anyways, back to the health insurance.
Oh, right.
So I lost my health insurance on July 1st and found out on July 20th. So that sucks. And so essentially, if I do get COVID, I'm kind of fucked right now.
Oh man, yeah, you'll be like paying for that the rest of your life, basically.
Well, here's the problem is like, I don't understand how in the middle of a pandemic you can drop someone from their health insurance. It's not like I got fired. Like, it's not like I got.
That's the other thing is like businesses like that are like. Basically, is that like a union that you're in?
No, so it's just through. I'm not in a union because I'm an office PA.
Okay.
But in my producers and everything have been great. They really took care of, especially the non-union people. They really took care of us.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
So I have nothing but nice things to say about them.
Right.
But the show that I was on, they go through a payroll company. Okay. Kind of like ADP, but we didn't have ADP. I don't want to name names because I don't want to get sued for some weird reason or whatever.
No, I get you.
So essentially the employer pays through them, and then because a lot of different productions use the same payroll companies, so you can just carry over with the insurance through them.
Okay.
So it's kind of like if you worked for a company and they paid it. So as long as you keep working for the same productions that have the same payroll company, because there's only two real big ones. Or maybe three. There's ADP, Cast and Crew, and there's one more. I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, they pay into your health insurance, and that's how you get it that way. If you have to work so many hours in a month, and
okay, yeah.
I mean, I had the hours in a month and a week, but because you've worked on film sets, you know how that goes.
Yeah, so. I absolutely know how that goes. So,
but I can't wait to get back to work. I feel like my career is going nowhere.
Yeah, I know that. I know that feeling.
Like I've thought about applying to jobs to work in at a news station, but at the same time, I don't want to because it's not what I want to do. I don't want to edit news.
It's not fun. It's just I thought about it when I was really struggling for work. I thought about a news station. I was just it just doesn't sound like fun. It never sounds like fun to work at a news station. No, it's like the two things that whenever you're a freelancer and you haven't worked in months, the two things that go through your head are, all right, I can go work at a news station or I can go edit porn. It's like they're both soul sucking. Just one you can come back from. Yeah, true. Yeah,
not saying that people that work in news stations don't love it. I'm just saying whenever.
Right. Yeah. It takes a specific kind of person to really like that job, and I mean, we are probably not those people. So.
No, I'm also not a person that likes being in the same job for more than a year. I hate it.
Yeah.
So I like the switching up and the changing of working on different film sets. I went from Disney to Fox to HBO to Amazon all in a matter of 6 months, and it was great.
Right.
I loved it because
awesome.
I was working with different people and I met awesome. I mean, I got to meet the producers from Moonlight because they're the same producers on my show.
Yeah.
And they know me now.
That's awesome.
I can walk up to them and I can talk to an Oscar-winning producer.
Yeah.
Whenever she sees me, she says hi to me and I can have a conversation with her.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I drove her in my car, which was really cool. I had a 20-minute conversation with her. They were like, "You're gonna go pick her up." I'm like, "What?"
Yeah.
But that was fun. But honestly, they're so nice too.
Yeah, at the end of the day, they're people too. So it's everyone always kind of holds them up on a pedestal. But once you get one-on-one, I'm sure. I mean, not that I've met anyone that's at that level, but.
Yeah, I mean, you put a lot of celebrities and you put these people on TV on, like you said, on a pedestal, and then whenever you actually get to talk to them, you're just
it's oh, well, you're like me.
You're a human?
Yeah.
You eat? Do Do you like hot dogs? I like hot dogs. Oh, you only eat vegan? Okay. I've never had a vegan hot dog. I mean, none of it's real meat, so.
Yeah, that's
all
true.
hot dogs vegan.
It's probably another conspiracy theory that we could like go down a rabbit hole with.
I want to start a conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
I want to like. I gotta think of like how to make one. Like how does a conspiracy theory take off?
Well,
Do you have to make a couple YouTube channels?
You gotta go on 4chan and start posting.
Just start posting stories on 4chan.
Yeah, I mean I assume a lot of conspiracy theories have started there, just because it's just a cesspool.
It is so weird.
It's just the worst garbage. I mean, you could probably try Reddit, but I feel like Reddit is a little more cleaned up. That it's.
I feel like Reddit
harder to get something going there.
I feel like so. I don't know the history behind Reddit and 4chan. I don't know, like I said, I don't know the history behind them enough.
Yeah, I don't really either.
But I feel like they started in the same spot, and and Reddit was like, oh, we can become like a recognized like social media.
Yeah.
That you can get real news from, or you
Yeah.
can have real conversations. And then 4chan was like, I'm not eating my spaghetti. Like, I'm staying little. like
Yeah.
I want to eat broccoli.
I don't want to grow up.
I'm gonna eat,
What's going on?
I'm gonna eat ice cream.
We're gonna just shovel all this garbage down my throat and just see what happens.
Like that is essentially 4chan and Reddit and how they developed. Like,
Yeah.
Reddit grew up.
Right.
And 4chan is still a child. It's not a child. 4chan is more of the stoner that lives in his parents' basement that has gotten into meth.
That's pretty accurate, honestly. If you were to personify
And Reddit,
4chan.
Reddit's
like a typical millennial, like a stereotypical millennial, I feel like.
Yeah.
Somebody you'd see, like, I don't know, at a cafe wearing their plaid red shirt or something, just like sipping their latte.
There's
working on their MacBook, and
there's social media strategist for like some big company that doesn't realize that they're paying these people like 40 hours a week to sit on Facebook and literally do nothing because they don't know how to send an email.
Yeah,
that's right. That's Reddit.
That's good comparison right there.
So what would Facebook be?
Facebook is slowly turning into the loud boomer, as much as I hate saying that, but like I don't know. It's just like anytime I go on Facebook, it's just like the loudest people like spewing politics.
Is it turning into a mainstream 4chan without like, you know, the terror, because it's a censored 4chan.
It is. I feel like Facebook is like if 4chan did grow up, but they still did the same shit that they did when they
grew up, but they're still smoking meth.
Yeah, basically.
Well, yeah, they grew up, but they're like, yeah, I like meth, but I can hold a job.
Basically, I mean, it's just like it's the people of society that just I don't know. Facebook's been rubbing me the wrong way lately. I shouldn't be commentating on.
I'm sorry.
No, it's. You're fine.
I try and stay off. So, something that has really helped me with like dealing with like depression and dealing with just like getting through a day and like my overall general attitude has been check Facebook maybe once, maybe twice a day. Like if I checked it early in the morning, like check it before I go to bed.
Yeah.
Other than that, stay off it. I'll throw something up on Instagram, but I really won't read anything, like look through people's stuff. But the big one is I stopped watching the news. So I got rid of cable and I didn't buy an antenna. I have Netflix. So I have Netflix, I have Hulu, Amazon Prime because everyone has Amazon Prime. And then just for the shipping. And then I had Disney Plus, and I'm going to get HBO Max whenever the Seth Rogen movie comes out because I want to see that.
Oh, yeah.
But other than that, that's like all my entertainment. And I got YouTube, obviously. Yeah. But since I have... So I'll come home to my parents, who are boomers, and my dad watches the news from 4 o'clock to 7:30 every day. It's the same stories over and over.
Yeah.
And I'll sit there, I'm like, how are you guys? And then before that, he'll watch like The View and The Talk.
Yeah.
It's the same stories. And I'm like...
And it's all... well,
it's super depressed. Like when I watch it with them, I just get super depressed. So ever since I cut that out of my life, like, and I still get my news. Like I get news from from New York Times, from Wall Street Journal, like online. Like if I see something, like I have subscriptions, like I'll read an article.
I mean, honestly, like even Reddit is a pretty good place to get news. Like I'll subscribe to certain channels that'll just do like world news. Like it's not from a certain point of view or, you know, something like that. And, you know, it's pretty informative without being too biased, like, you know, some of these news channels are now.
Yeah.
So.
No, I mean, like Reddit has been great. You got to watch it because again, there are people out there like to post fake news and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, you got to be careful. I take everything with a grain of salt.
Like usually people are good about posting sources and like backing it up in some way and stuff like that. So.
But yeah, I mean, stop watching the news and you will watch your life get much better. Yeah. Because you stop worrying about that other crap. I mean, just start worrying about what you love.
That was how I almost had like a panic attack over the pandemic. Was the last time I was at the gym, like before this all like blew up in the U.S. They were reporting about it on the news, and it was just like nonstop, just everyone just like all these stories of them just back to back, people freaking out over it and stuff like that. And I'm just sitting at the gym like trying to exercise, but I'm getting like so distracted because it's just like my anxiety is just like it's
oh yeah, like
making my anxiety just surge up. And
the moment I knew it was real, the moment I knew it was all real was whenever it was like 3:00 in the morning, and I was at Planet Fitness in Conyers, and it says Tom Hanks tested positive for coronavirus.
Oh yeah.
That was the moment I knew it was real.
Yeah.
But what was crazy, and again, another video that I watched that got taken down. I love watching these videos because I know I'm right. The conspiracies are real, man. But no, it was back in February. It was this Chinese doctor who said who had posted a video online and said, "This is serious. We have people all in like hospital beds, like in the hallways. Like you guys need to take this serious." Like, and I shared it, and I was like, "This is coming, guys. This is early February." I was like, "This is bad," and then it got taken down like a week later. Or something like that. And then a month later, it was like March 17th or something like that, right around that time, that my boss was like, pack your stuff, like you're never coming back.
Yeah, I wonder if was that the same Chinese doctor who like tried to tell everyone about the virus and then like disappeared?
I don't know. I didn't know about that one. Like,
yeah, there was like something I remember reading about, like way closer back when it was still like huge in China. There was like a doctor who was like trying to like warn people, like the rest of the world, like, hey, you gotta like prepare for this. This is like a big deal. And like China was trying to keep like stories about it contained. And apparently that guy just like ended up like disappearing.
Well, it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
No, this was a female doctor that I had watched. She was,
I think this was like a dude that.
Yeah, she was in the hallways and like she like was showing like people like over her shoulder of like all these people like lined up in the hospital, and she had like a face mask and like one of the plastic shields and everything like that, and like it was translated for like. So again, I don't speak Mandarin or the 5 other languages that they speak.
Right.
But it was subtitled, so I'm going off the subtitles. So it could have been again. She could have been telling us that like it's her birthday, and I would never know. But I feel like that'd be a weird place to say it was your birthday. It's in the middle of a hospital.
In the middle of a hospital.
Pandemic. Like, yeah. So I'm gonna take her word for it because it looked like it was a pretty serious situation there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got taken down like 5 days later, something like that.
Crazy stuff.
It was Hillary Clinton.
Hillary Clinton.
This is
It
Hillary.
was those emails.
It's the emails, man. This is Hillary Clinton's way of getting back at us for wanting to get into those emails.
Oh my God.
That's the conspiracy. Hillary Clinton started this because she was mad. She was mad about the emails.
Oh.
Little did she know, this email leaked.
How did this podcast turn into all like conspiracy theories and politics?
I'm sorry, I'm not trying to get politics. I mean, we can.
No, it's just.
I could talk about things I saw on 4chan. Like that's terrible.
No, it's fine. It's
like,
fine.
My eyes.
It's just like it's hard not to like shift in that direction with everything that's going on.
It really is.
Like it's just.
I could talk about my movie more if you want me to do that. Like.
Yeah. I was just
Yeah.
So.
But so I'll just give you a little taste of what it is. So again, I was talking about how it's like about regime change wars and all that. Sorry to go political after I said I wouldn't. But it's about regime change wars.
Yeah. No, this is different.
And essentially, it's about this president, and he's being coerced into. He's being coerced into going into another regime change war. It was based off I wrote it last year whenever Syria was a big thing.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Because that's whenever I really started getting into it and reading about it. So it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna write this, and then the whole Iran thing happened, and that's right when I was writing the grant. So it was perfect timing to write the grant. But it's about this president getting pressured into going into another regime change war for X, Y, Z reasons. Find out in the movie when you watch it, and then. He says, start to prepare for the invasion. He goes out into the hallway and he sees his kids, right? His kids are playing army. They're dressed up in like army, and they have Nerf guns. Yeah. And they're playing and they shoot each other, and it transports him to a war zone where he sees all the horrors of war laid out in front of him. It's because the whole idea is at the beginning of the film, they're referring to all these numbers of like, okay, we're expecting X number of casualties, X number. Right. So they're being referred to as numbers, not as
as people. Like dehumanizing.
Yeah, you're desensitizing and dehumanizing.
Yeah.
Especially like the news and everything like that.
Right.
So you're dehumanizing it, and then I take it a step further from just dehumanizing it. So what happens when he gets to this war zone? He sees all these acts of war, these terrible things that happen in war. That all the soldiers are played out like children. So the whole idea behind the film is that every soldier over there is somebody's child. Every civilian over there is somebody's child. Somebody watched them play baseball. Somebody watched them at a dance recital. Someone change their diaper. Like, the whole idea is that every person over there is somebody's child. So it's very, very pro support the troops. I've gotten that question before. They're like, aren't you worried people are going to think this isn't supporting the troops? Like, you're going to get backlash for that. And it's quite the opposite. It's all about, the
people and like giving those.
Yeah. So at the beginning of the film, it starts off with a quote, that speak softly but carry a big stick.
Right.
Go far. Right. It starts off with that quote, and then underneath it asks the questions: when did we forget to speak softly?
Right.
So that's the whole, so that's the idea behind it, and then, so everything is going to be shot with kids, and but there's not going to be that heroic score that you get in war movies when there's like the war scene. There's not that heroic score of the trumpets blaring or the French horns up high of all that. It's it's the sounds of war are going to be there. Everything was going to be real practical blood effects, and I told you about the model that I wanted to do for that. I didn't build it yet, so I'm probably not going to end up shooting it while I'm up here, so you're off the hook. I appreciate the offer.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, anytime I can help out.
Yeah.
But yeah, that sounds, I mean, I like that idea a lot, because I feel like a lot of times when you do see those war movies and you hear the epic music and stuff, it's sort of, even though it might not mean it that way, like some people might interpret it as like glorifying, what is happening here, and that, this is should be considered a proud moment when, one human being is, shooting at or killing another human being. And like, that's not the case in reality. It's like you do what you have to because you're protecting, the country or the people that you care about. So
yeah, the like I said, the whole idea behind it is it's anti-war, but it's very pro support the troops. Like,
yeah,
and I try and make that very clear whenever I talk to people about it, because like I said, I do have family that are in the military. I have some of my best friends are in the military. One of my best friends just got back not too long ago from overseas, and it's like I said, it's a very close subject to me.
Right.
And I like, again, I completely understand whenever there is an attack like 9/11 or something like that, but whenever people are lied to about going into like Iraq, or
right,
like that's the idea. It's like, all right, I understood 2001. 9/11. I understand that. Like, I understand we got to go get the bad guy. Like, they're coming after us. But whenever we're lied to and then told to go into a whole different country to find WMDs that aren't there,
yeah.
like, what was that really about? Like, that wasn't about that. That was about something else.
Yeah,
so,
it's just like, it's just...
Sorry, I didn't mean to get too political, but that's...
No, I get you. I was trying to, like, not go there either. I'm just, like, thinking, I'm like, oh, that's political, too. But I understand that's the point of the film is, like, it's just supposed to, I mean, sometimes that needs to... Jesus,
man.
Peeling out there. I mean... if you have a message that you feel very strongly about, you need to get that message out there any way that you can. And if it's important to you, I mean, it's going to be important to other people as well.
Yeah.
That's, and hopefully that message can convince others that might be on the fence about it, and then you just start, that's the wonderful thing I love about like film. Is just, if narrative or documentary, they can be very informative and they can help you to, it can be art, yes, but it can also be something that, sends a message in a way that, a politician or, somebody standing at a podium, wouldn't be able to deliver the same way.
Exactly.
So that's I love that. It's just like you have that ability to make a visual representation of something that you feel strongly about.
Yeah, and that is exactly what I'm trying to do here with that. Is I'm trying to convey that message of something I feel really strongly about.
Right.
I don't claim to be an incredibly smart man. I would love to run for office one day, but I hate politics, and I don't. Right. My thing is I like telling people to go fuck themselves. So I would probably end up trying to take the Trumpy approach, where I say lock her up or some other dumb stupid shit.
Oh God, yeah.
That go like that route where people would love what I say, but it'd be super crass, and I feel like someone that I don't know. That's a whole other thing.
Right.
But I would love to. This is my way of trying to get what I feel strongly about out there.
And that is going to wrap up the first of two parts of the Decipher the Media podcast with Joe Bucci. We talked for such a long time that I actually ended up getting enough for 2 episodes. So I decided to split it up just to kind of keep it manageable, so you wouldn't have to listen through an entire 2-hour episode. So be on the lookout for episode number 2. It is coming very soon after this one. I already have it almost ready to go. So that will be very shortly. Keep an eye out on some news relating to the podcast. I'm going to be launching a new website either with this podcast or very shortly after. So I'm working on that. It's cipherimedia.com. You can actually go onto it now. It's live, but I'm still working on some things on the website to kind of make it a little better than it looks now. I just kind of have a lot of placeholder stuff in right now, but it is coming along, and I'm very happy about it. Very proud of the progress that I've made with this podcast, and with the media that I've been working on beside this podcast. So it's really become a bigger thing, and I'm really happy that you're here with me right now, watching this, listening to this, consuming it however you are. I love hearing about when someone comes up to me and tells me, how much they enjoy my podcast. That is all that I need to keep going with this. And your feedback is much appreciated. Any sort of positive feedback, constructive criticism, any of that stuff, it's greatly appreciated, and it helps me to continue with this and continue with it at a more regular pace. So please just bring in any sort of feedback that you can. You can reach out to me through my website, through social media, however you want to do it. I always post up my ways to contact me through social media. So look out for that stuff if you want to reach out to me, and let me know. Let me know what you think. What this, how I can make this better, how I can make it more focused on specific things. If you don't like the direction it's going, what do you think would be a better idea? Anything really. I'm looking for any sort of feedback on it, and any sort of support. So go out, like and subscribe to the podcast any way that you can on YouTube, iTunes, Google Play, which is soon going to be Google Podcasts, Stitcher. I'm trying to get this up on Spotify. I just haven't gotten around to it. So that's going to be on Spotify soon, on their podcasts, hopefully in the near future. Any of those platforms, just go in there, give me a good, give me a review, give me some feedback, anything to sort of give me an idea of what direction to take this in, and what I can do to make this better for you. So, and what I can do to kind of reach out to a larger group of listeners or viewers. So again, I really appreciate your help. I really appreciate you taking the time to listen to this, to watch this on YouTube. Either of those, I really appreciate your time, and I'm so happy that I'm able to share these experiences with you, and I really look forward to sharing more of these experiences in the future. So again, thank you. I'll see you next episode, which will be out in no time. So again, your positive feedback pushes me to get these out at a faster pace. I've also got a lot of, I've got some. I've reached out to a couple people for new interviews. So I'm gonna try to work around the restrictions of the pandemic. Find safe ways to continue the podcast while we work through what's going on in the world. So again, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time, and I will see you next time. Take care. Stay safe. Much love.